Ladies and gentlemen, it's Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran, and today we are taking a look at some absolutely bananas footage coming out from a English-speaking squad of the Ukrainian Foreign Legion conducting an anti-armor ambush at really close range. And we're going to be breaking down what I think this can tell us about the future of warfare. All right, let's get into it. So this is from War Leaks, Ukraine War, Ukrainian Foreign Legion fighters RGW-90 ambush on a Russian BTR helmet cam. The link is always in the description. You're going to want to check that out. Okay. It says it's north of Kharkiv, so I believe that's in the eastern part of the country. All right, so now let's point out a couple of details here. First, you notice that the footage picks up with the unit at a covered, at least a covered and concealed position. And you notice their backpacks are on the ground. This would be what we sometimes in the US military doctrine refer to as an objective rally point. And the objective rally points are going to be, again, your last covered and concealed position before you advance on your target. And by putting down your backpacks, you're ensuring that your squad has and your individual soldiers have the maximum mobility, right? This is their last chance to refit their gear, to get their configuration and bring exactly what they need to the battlefield. You notice that at this point, the anti-armor system operators, they are not holding their individual weapons, right? Their AKs or whatever. They are holding their anti-armor weapons, and they probably have them, if not fully ready to fire, but in sort of their ready configuration, right? One step away from being fire ready to engage. Okay, let's keep going.
Brian, you lead. Go, 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 go.
So you notice it sounds like maybe a US or Canadian squad leader based on that accent. And you can see he's giving simple, clear commands on the target. And he's communicating a sense of urgency. What I also want to point out, these guys are actually pretty well equipped. Let's get another shot. Boom, you can see here, this looks like a British style helmet, but with some additional camouflage to kind of break up the outline. They all have a camelback water bladder. So this right here tells me that these guys are probably some professionals. And in the comments, again, unverified, but apparently in the comments, the British voice that you're going to hear in a minute is a former Royal Marines commando. So definitely you'll see that as we play this out. Okay, you can see they're in their last covered and concealed position. You can hear elsewhere there is a firefight going on pretty close by. So I suspect that this vehicle is assigned to some sort of support by fire role, and that these guys, this squad was assigned to probably flank around, get on the vehicle's flanks or rear, and engage the vehicle with anti-armor so that it can't fire in support of a main body of Ukrainian forces. That's generally how these sort of anti-armor, it's not really an ambush, this is an attack because they are maneuvering to the target. Okay, you can see here that the squad leader is doing everything right. First off, he is not asking his soldiers to assume a risk that he himself is not taking. He is right there with this team. He's also at the point where he needs to exercise the most command and control. That is, if your mission is an anti-armor attack, right, you're going to want to be with the attack element, which is in this case, these two anti-armor system operators. So he pushes them out. You can see the first operator, right, is too close to the wood line. He needs his buddy to also be able to get a clear shot. So the squad leader physically pushes him out. This is really common when your adrenaline is pumping like this. You develop what's called tunnel vision. And you can see the armor operator is focused entirely on the target, which is what you want. But they don't realize that their buddy is right there next to them. Again, this is how, when I talk about tunnel vision, this is how narrow it is. If you asked him even 10 seconds ago, hey, who's behind you? He'd say, my buddy, the other armor operator. But when you enter that combat mode, when you actually are in an actual guns up firefight, whew, tunnel vision. That's why that's what leadership is for, to be able to clearly, simply communicate to soldiers developing tunnel vision on their individual objectives to maintain poise and keep them focused on the larger situation. He pushes them to the side, right?
Shoot it now.
He's telling you, shoot it now, shoot it now. You notice here, he said, get out of the backblast, and that's because we know these anti-armor rocket weapons produce a large backblast, and he's making sure that his backblast area is clear. This is, again, a sign of a properly trained soldier. You look at videos of kind of amateur hour in places like Syria, and you don't see this at all. You don't even see them usually. Usually they jump out from behind a building, fire an RPG, and run back as fast as they can, barely taking aim. There's no leadership. There's no checking the backblast area. This is all signs that this is someone who is trained in how to operate these weapons and has the discipline to maintain and execute that training, even when they're facing down a, Russian BTR just a couple of feet away. I mean, this is, if this is 100 yards and it's moving towards them. So both teams have fired off. The squad leader is there. He's probably, I imagine, there to maybe provide some sort of cover or literally just be the command and control element, right? He doesn't look like he's all that ready. So they engage the target, right? They had to expose themselves, and now they are immediately returning to a cover and concealed position because they realize that vehicle is facing them.
It's facing towards us. Huh? It's facing towards us.
Yeah, so he may have that third person who didn't fire the weapon, he may be some sort of observer. He may be functioning as a sort of observer as well, who's telling them, hey, it's facing towards us. It wasn't facing away from us like we thought, and we need to get out of here. Yep, you saw there, the backpack was put down. Someone's going to pick it up. And they are going to...
Pull back! Pull back!
Yep, there's that squad leader. You hear him telling people, hey, it's time to pull back. And that's because that vehicle is probably going to start putting rounds into their location. It knows where they are. It knows where the rounds came from. And you don't want to be downrange of a BTR putting autocannon rounds down. Now, here's drone footage. Okay, let's break down this drone footage. So I also want to point out, one, guys, if you're still with me, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I really want to get to 100K. Hitting subscribe doesn't mean you're going to see every video, but if you do, hit the little bell next to it. But hitting 100K will get me that big silver plaque on my wall, and it would mean the world to me. So thanks so much. Okay. Also, if you're interested, I have a course on how to grow your YouTube channel, especially as like an expert commentator. And it's like 90% off. So that's in the description. Okay, this is the drone footage, and I really think this is where we get into the future of warfare type stuff. So let's look at what we have here. First off, oh, you see that? They are right here. You saw the round go off, and you saw it impact. They had two anti-armor weapons. I believe one may have misfired, but one did score a hit, and it's a very direct hit. Yeah. Yep. There's the shooter, and there's the backblast, and there's the impact. Okay. So we can see here the vehicle is actually just taking evasive action. Its drivers are probably panicked. You saw that secondary explosion. That's probably ammunition cooking off or something else explosive in the vehicle that's starting to cook off. And it says it moved to the woods where it was destroyed as well. I think those are probably parts, weapons in the vehicle cooking off and just sort of shooting off into the distance. Now, why do I think this is so interesting and so illustrative? Yeah, I think those are just rounds cooking off. I don't think it's shooting at anything. Okay, why do I think this is illustrative of the future of war? Okay, couple of reasons. First off, it is defined, this whole operation, right? Which is nice. We saw it maybe not start to finish, but we saw the crucial moment from two different angles, which is incredible given that, 100 years ago, there was no footage of of a battlefield, right? You would get maybe occasionally a few snippets, a few seconds of video, of film of like a World War I charge, but that's about it. So that in and of itself is sort of incredible to see real battles from multiple angles. But you have a small unit, right? I think that is the future. The future of warfare is these small squad size units, but they are enabled by technology, right? The technology of, first off, the advanced anti-armor weapons that are so lightweight and small that a squad of what looks like maybe 9 people can carry a dozen, or can carry 2 of them, which is unreal, right? By most standards. Now, obviously, there have been anti-armor weapons that have been squad weapons for a long time, but these are more lightweight and more lethal and accurate than any time in the past. Second, you see they have drone technology, right? This drone is not in position by accident. The drone knows the location of this vehicle, and I'm almost certain that either a drone operator is communicating to this squad the position and terrain of the vehicle. You notice they really did not have to do much in the way of reconnaissance. That doesn't mean that, again, I think when they got to that objective rally point, I suspect that the commander, the squad leader, probably did a little sneak up and just poked through the leaves and verified that, yes, the target is in the location. He may have even taken the anti-armor weapon operators with him so that all 3 of them could say, see, that's the target there. We're going to walk here. You're going to pop out. We're going to fire, and we're going to come back. And they all said, yeah, okay, that works. And then they went back, finalized the plan, briefed everyone up, and then executed. So that's what I suspect we didn't see, because that's just good small unit leadership. But that doesn't mean that this drone was not continually giving them even more information on the enemy and the enemy disposition and composition. So, small units, lots and lots of technology, very, very good intelligence, and most importantly, lightning fast execution. I imagine that this mission was probably from assignment to execution was probably under 60 minutes. That would be my guess. And I think that is the future of warfare. Small units, high tech, rapid mission assignment execution, retrograde action. That I think captures what I think is the future of war. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me on this. I hope you guys learned something. If there's other footage you want me to see and analyze, check out the comments below. Also, if you want me to check out some footage that's a little too spicy for YouTube, you want to become a Patreon member. Thanks to our Lieutenant tier patrons. I'll see you in the next one.